Positive news today, the CPI inflation report. This was just posted a while ago, like less than half an hour ago, and it's apparently going to be 3.3%. And if we look here in this report, this is by barron's.com, by the way, they just reported this. And what's good about this is that the economists expected 3.4%, and it's less than they expected. And what this has caused, as usual, because every time we get these CPI reports, there's usually a major dump or a major pump, and it usually lasts maybe a few hours. So here you can see Bitcoin shot up, right? These were definitely bots, because as soon as the report was in, the pump has started. So it has to be bots. Like, humans can't really do this so quickly unless you're there watching the screen, waiting for the report, hitting that buy button. I mean, it could happen, but people have stuff to do, right? They could be at work, they could be busy. So it's less likely. The more likely scenario is that bots did it, right? I actually watched this pump live without expecting the report or anything. I was just told the report is in because I wasn't aware that it's due to be announced right now. And so looking at this, like, Bitcoin shot up. This is on the 5-minute chart. Bitcoin shot up from 67.9, 67.8, is trading around that for a bit. I think people are kind of expecting it because you can see it's kind of started the uptrend earlier today. So I think it was kind of expected to be positive. This was kind of a sign that, okay, prepare for the pump. But like, I don't think anybody expected that it's going to shoot up like this, unless you just go by the fact that, it broke the previous resistance areas here on the lower time frames, as you can see, and it was moving on the uptrend. Nobody expected this kind of pump. Let's be serious here. Like, you could have longed this, but I mean, you would have had to long it on the second candle here, first or second candle, as soon as you see two consecutive greens here before the huge ones came in, because once these came in, it was too late, right? So I am expecting some sort of cool off period now. I don't know how much lower we're gonna go before the cool off. It could be trading sideways for a while, maybe around 69k, but nevertheless, it's good to see. DOT has also followed for once, because I didn't expect DOT to follow. It doesn't seem to follow much. It lost a lot of that dominance against Bitcoin, and it's not the only one. I mean, other altcoins are facing the same situation, but DOT at 661. Again, this is not a major pump or anything. It's major when you look at this chart. See, if we look on the 1 hour chart, after we had that major dump from 720, we went to 660, right? And now we're back to that price again. So it's good that it's recovering, because if you look on the 1 hour chart, we are trading below the 100-day moving average. This is bearish, right? But nevertheless, I mean, this pump is good. If the market continues to go up, we may see DOT get to maybe 680, perhaps even $7 again, and hopefully trade and consolidate around there before moving higher if Bitcoin moves higher, because at the end of the day, without Bitcoin moving up, the altcoins aren't. So I know most traders are saying that as long as DOT manages to hold well around this area and doesn't dump lower, then we should be in a good position for seeing those higher prices once again, like $8 DOT, $9 DOT, even $10 DOT perhaps, which many people have been waiting for. I know many people are looking to exit Polkadot this time if it gets to $10, myself included. For me personally, like, if it gets to about $7.58, I'm probably going to exit as well. Most of my position, if not all of it, and then I'll just buy the pullback if it comes again. There's always some sort of pullback. Nothing goes up in a straight line. I just don't think that we're in that super hype bull market right now, right? And I think with summer starting now, people going on holiday, I don't think you're going to see as many trades happening, as much hype in the market. Like, let's not forget that in the previous years when we had a bull market, it wasn't until like September and October that we've seen the market pump and do really well. Right now, the memes are doing well, but aside from that, like the serious projects like Polkadot, which is considered a serious infrastructure project, in this case, it hasn't been doing that well, right? Unless there was a lot of hype in the market. So I just don't think we're going to get that sort of hype until September, October. I think throughout the summer, people are on holiday. They're not going to be trading. So if I see a pump to like $7.58, I'm going to exit. I'm just going to stay in stable coins happily because I can just stomach it. I can wait it. Even if it goes a little bit higher, that's fine. I can just wait until it goes down, because every time I've been holding, the thing just kept dumping. And then once it dumped, I had to give everything back and more, from my own pocket too. So I just don't want to give it back anymore. I'm taking out those profits. stacking them aside and then buying back the same amount of DOT when it dumps, and then setting aside that USDT to reinvest in other projects and grow my portfolio. I found this strategy to be more successful for me personally, rather than just hold one major bag of Polkadot hoping for something to happen when there's so much spending going on, right? And I want to look at Injective and just show you as well. Look at Injective. I mean, Injective was trading at 25.69 yesterday, and today with the CPI news went all the way up to $32.22. That's crazy, right? They broke the previous resistance here, and you know, I do feel bad for not buying Injective again once it pulled back. I actually bought DOT instead of Injective because I had a bag of Injective. I sold it when it pumped. You know, it didn't even go that high, like it was around 27.80 when I sold it, close to $28. And then the thing kept on going up to 30. Then it dumped. I didn't buy back. I bought DOT in that moment when we had this major dump here on the 7th of June. Then it went back and retested 30. It pulled all the way down to 27. So it was a $3 drop, quite a big one, right? More than 10%. Then went up again to close to 29, actually over $29. Dumped again to 27. Went back to 29 something. Dumped to 26. And now $32. So whenever we're going to get a cool-off period again, I'm thinking, you know, perhaps to get back into this, if it goes to like, I don't know, it's probably going to go to 28, I would say. It's probably not going to revisit 26. It's probably going to be around this area here because it seems to be touching the 100-day moving average when it does pull back. Like the pullbacks are humongous, just like the pumps are. So depending on when this moving average gets to by the time it pulls back, let's say maybe around here, because it seems to be going up like that, so maybe around $27.80 to $28, that's where we can expect the next pullback to end up. And then as soon as I'm going to see a rebound, that's when I'm going to enter, and I'm going to use the 1 hour chart to do it, because on the 1 hour chart it gives you more time to react. You can clearly see it here. Of course, you need to set alerts if you do these kind of things, you know, but yeah, I mean, it's very obvious here. Look how many times we touched it, except for since this area here when we had this pullback and it went below the red line. You know, ever since we've broken above the red line, we were on that moving average. We rode it really well. It pulled back below it here when we did dump it, but that was just like a 1 week here that we had. And then after that, it just stuck around on the green line, the 25-day, and then it pulled back close to the 100, went up, back to the 100, went up, below the 100, went up. So now let's expect it around the red line, around the 100. It could be just a bit above it as well. That's why I said to give it some room, maybe $27.80, maybe $28. Given that this pump was quite big and we don't know how much bigger it is. I mean, if this goes to $34, $35 today, it's less likely that we're going to see $28. It's probably more likely that we're going to see $30 because this area is going to act as support. So it's going to replace the previous support area. So we'll have to see. But anyway, Injective is clearly doing much, much better. It's clearly performing much, much better when it comes to bullish market conditions compared to Polkadot, which is moving much slower. I'm not sure if it's because of the inflation. I assume it's the supply and the inflation. Injective has inflation too because you can stake it, but it's not as high. So this is the situation that we have with the market. Clearly, the price is doing the talking and Injective is the winner here. If you have to compare it, it even beats Solana as it stands. So yeah, just wanted to do this quick video on the CPI and just to show you the major impact that the bots have created. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.